Welcome to today's session. In this class, we'll discuss on value of TH1 to be loaded to set your baud rate. Okay, the baud rate indicates the transmission rate at which data will be transferred. In order to calculate for a 9600, 2400, 1200, what the value to be loaded into TH1 register. As we know, the machine cycle frequency will be for 8051 11.0592 megahertz and divided by 12. I hope you know that. Why it is 12? Because one machine cycle will be indicated with 12 clocks. We will get here 921.6 kilohertz. In turn, it will be divided with the 32 because your UART is operated for the 32 division of this, because it is a slow device as compared to your timer, which is a much faster here 8051, and timer will be 1/12 of that, and 132 that of will be operated with the UART. It is a frequency by UART terminal or a timer to set a baud rate. Now, what is the frequency you get here? 28,800 Hertz. If you divide with the 3, 12, 24, you will get here 9600, 2400 and 1200. Okay. Whatever the divisor value you get, okay, you take a minus value of that. Okay. If I say minus 3, its 2's complement will be FD, means your UART is operated at a frequency at a bits, there is a baud rate of 9600. If TH1 is loaded with minus 12, means it is operated at a baud rate of 2400. If it is set with a minus 24, it is operated at a baud rate of 1200. Okay, this is what the block diagram explanation, what we have calculated from this one, you can understand from the block crystal divided by 12, and it is divided, UART will be dividing that frequency. Sometime if the crystal frequency will be different, 20, you divide with the 12. Whatever the frequency you get here, that will be again divided with the 32. You will get here UART timer 1. Okay, these are the value to be set here, TH1 corresponding value in the TH1 to operate your UART in a BPS rate of transmission. Okay, for serial communication, we are using SBUF register. It is a buffer register. In fact, it is an 8-bit register and it is used for serial communication operation, through which the data will be transferred and the data will be received. And whenever the data bit, okay, the moment whenever the data bit is written into the buffer, SBUF, to transmit or receive, it will be loaded with the 2 extra bit. Those are called start bit and the stop bit. Okay, they indicate a frame, means one frame having a character, it is a 8-bit character, and 2 extra bit, start bit and the stop bit. Since SBUF holds a byte of data when it is received by the 8051. When the bits are received serially via receiver, okay, the 8051 deframes it because it is a total 10 bits. Because your 8051 understands only the 8 bit, you will remove the appended bits and delimits that which are the bits to be removed, start bit and stop bit, and it will be copied in a corresponding register how you require for the program. Okay, especially we are using for the accumulator to load and the store. I hope it will be given with the instruction #t, any character has to be enclosed with a single quote. Okay, means the corresponding ASCII value of character will be loaded into SBUF. Let us check that ASCII value of D will be 44. It will be loaded into SBUF. Content of accumulator will be copied into SBUF. Content of SBUF is copied into A. It is not the program, it is just a general syntax operation how we are using SBUF register. You need to be use it with a normal register bank, how we are using it here, but it is meant for serial communication operation. Is the next register is a SCON register. It is a configuration register through which it indicates a status and a mode of operation of your serial communication. It has 8-bit RI, TI, RB8, TB8, REN, SM2, SM1, SM0. Each bit operation we'll see one by one, and these bits can be accessed by its name, RI or TI, or it can be also accessed by using SCON 0.0, means it's the 0th bit, SCON 0.1. Like this, we can access up to SCON 0.7. Okay, some of the bits are not used much, those are TB8, RB8. Okay, we'll see mode of operation. Okay. I hope we are much concentrating on TI bit. It's a transmit interrupt flag set by hardware at the begin of the stop bit in mode 1 and cleared by software. Alright, receive interrupt flag set by hardware at the begin of the stop bit in mode 1 and it is cleared by software. As we know, we can use in one of the mode through SM0 and SM1. They determine the framing of a data bits, okay, for which your character will be given, that is start bit and the stop bit. If SM0 and SM1 are 00, serial mode 0. If 01, you are operating in mode 1, it is the most used mode, and it is indicated with 2 start bit, 2 bits extra bit, 1 is start bit and the stop bit. Okay. 10 serial mode 2, 11 serial mode 3, and SM2 it enables multi-processing capability of 8051. Okay. If you are using it for a multi-processing operation, we are using it the SM2. Okay. This is very important here, SM0 and SM1. Okay, how you configure. Most of the time we are using SM0 and SM1 in 01. There's a mode 1. Okay. One of the bit of SCON is REN. It indicates receive enable. It is a bit addressable. We can access it through individual bit also. When it is high, it allows 8051 to receive data on RxD pin. Means if this is enabled, it indicating to the 8051 to receive the data. It is an indication signal to the 8051. Something is happening, you receive it. If low, the receiver is disabled. If it is low, it won't accept any of the data bits received from the external device. TI. Okay, it is interrupt. Okay, we call it, what do you mean by interrupt here? If I have a something data, means if I want to, okay, let us say that if I ask you a question, okay, someone has an answer, okay, or many people might be having answer. How they give the answer? By raise their voice. Means there is an interrupt in the form of like an interrupt. Okay, that is when 8051 finishes the transfer of a 8-bit character, it raises TI flag to indicate that it is ready to transfer another byte. Let us take that there are the 3 bytes are there, 3 byte of data is there. We can't transmit all the byte at a time. How it will be transmitted? The first byte. Okay, the first byte it will transmit, it indicates that TI is enabled, means it is ready to transmit another byte. Second byte is transmitted, okay, because there is one more data byte is there, it will raise the TI, means it is ready to transmit one more byte, like this. Okay, and it is raised at the beginning of the stop bit. Whenever, okay, how we are transmitting, let us take that the 2 characters are there, A and B. A will be inserted with the start and the stop bit. Now let us take that A bit, A character, okay, it will start with the start bit, it will go on transmitting all the 8 bits. Whenever the stop bit comes here, it will raise the TI flag so that it can able to transmit the another byte. Similarly, RI receive interrupt when 8051 receive data serially via RxD. It gets rid of the start and stop bits and places the byte in a SPOP. Okay, something to receive. Some data is arrived at the 8051. It want to receive and it will keep it in a SPOP register. And it raises the RI flag bit to indicate that a byte has been received and should be picked up before it is lost. Okay, means if external device has a one character, it will transmit. Okay, now who is receiver here? 8051 is a receiver. Okay, how it will receive? It will receive through SPUF. Means whatever the device is transmitting, it will store into SPUF, and 8051 it will lift from the SPUF and it will be copied into any of the register of the requirement of the user. And RI is raised halfway through the stop bit so that it is received interrupt. Okay, something. Okay. Let us go to the how we are programming in the serial data transmitting, the step by step. In programming the 8051 to transfer characters byte serially, the first step we need to configure the TMOD register. Okay, these are the TMOD register. I hope you can see this TMOD register in timer. It is a 8-bit register. It is loaded with a value 20H, indicating that the use of timer 1 in mode. Okay, now if I say 20, okay, if I say give it like this 0 0 1 0 0 0 0, okay. Now there are the 4 bits. If I take, okay, let us take that. I'll clear this one. If I take 1 0, clear it. Clear it. If I make here 20, okay, 0 0 1 0 0 0 0 0. The lower 4 nibble signifies timer 0, higher 4 nibble signifies timer 1. Means we are using timer 1 in which mode? We are using in mode 2. Okay, and it is a 8-bit auto reload. We are using 8-bit auto reload because it is the most of the time we are using this standard, what we say, standard configuration, because your TH1, I hope you can see this one, TH1 will be loaded with one of the value -3, because it is a mainly signifies for the TH1 and it has to be loaded with only 3 value, that is a -3, -12, -24. So it will be reloaded automatically. Since we are using TMOD, okay, there is a timer 1, okay, in the auto reload mode to set the baud rate. It will mainly signifies for the to set into baud rate. Okay. Now the TH1 is loaded with one of the values to set baud rate for serial data transfer. Now the TH1 is loaded with one of the values to set a baud rate for serial data transmission operation. The SCON register is loaded with the value 50H, indicating that, okay, if I say, if I can take this 50, okay, 50 0 1 0 0 0 0 0 0, okay. Now I hope, okay, indicate that SCON is configured like this, indicating that it is in mode 1. Okay, because we are using it in most of the time mode 1. It is having 8-bit data is framed with start and the stop bits. Okay, you need not worry about the all other bits, because first we need to say in which mode of operation we are using it. Okay, this is a standard mode we are using it. Okay, you need not change it here. Okay, now TR1 is start the timer. Ti, okay, is cleared by clear Ti instruction to clear the instruction. In the sixth step, the character byte to be transferred serially is written into SBUF register. Okay, we know that the character, whatever the data byte to be transferred, first it has to be written into the SBUF register. Okay. Means the data to be transferred has to be written into SBUF register. The TI flag bit is monitored by using the instruction JNB, jump if not a bit TI flag, okay, until it is not set. Okay, it will keep on loop into the JNB instruction. Jump if no bit, okay, means it will keep on loop into this one until this TI will be raised. And the eighth step to transfer the next byte, and it will go to the next fifth step, so that we go on repeat this process to transmit a data from serial mode of operation. Okay, I hope these are the standard steps we need to be followed to program your UART. Let us take with a program. Write a program for 8051 to transfer letter A serially at 4800 baud continuously. Okay, as we know, we are using step by step. Okay, look at this T mode. We are setting at 20H. TH1, we have to load with a TH1 with a baud rate -6. Since for 4000 we load with a -6. You can take its 2's complement also, and you can load with a TH1. SCON is a 50. We load with the 50. We need to start the timer. Timer will be start with how? By using instruction set P TR1. Start the timer. And which character to be transferred? A. We need, as we know, it has to be operated through SBUF. We will copy it into SBUF register, and it will keep on sending the data until it will complete. When it completes, it will raise the signal through TI flag. Means when it complete, it will raise the TI flag. Okay, means it has completed. It is ready to receive it is ready to transmit the one more data. Okay, and when it is raised this one, the loop will be broken. It will go to the next instruction, clear TI. We need to stop the timer and jump if again, so that it will keep on loop this operation to transmit letter A at the rate of 4800 continuously. Let us go to the one more program. Let us go to the next program, 8051 to transfer YESS serially at a baud rate of 9600. Okay, one stop bit to do this continuously. Okay, what is my character? Yes. We can't transmit the yes simultaneously. We need to transmit character by character. Okay, we need to be systematically follow the same steps. T mod will be loaded with 20H. TH1 will be loaded with -3. It indicates a baud rate. These are the standard steps. Okay, you should remember these steps. SCON 50H is 8-bit. One stop bit. REN is enabled. Receiver transmitter is enabled. Timer is started. Once the timer is started, which character you need to be copy? We need to be transmit first here. Why? We will store it into accumulator. Okay. Now all the way we need to operate with the SBUF. Okay. Now what will be copied into accumulator now? Why? Now the next will be like A call trans. Okay. There is a timer has to be initiated. Means the trans, when it jumps to the trans. Okay, like this, it will jump to the trans here. Okay, in this trans, what are the content of A? Is Y. Where it will be copied? SBUF. Means all the way UART will understand, or it will take the data through the SBUF. Now what are the content of SBUF? A. Now it will keep on transmit the data bit. What data bit? Y corresponding data bit will be transmitted. When it completes, it will raise a TI flag. When it raises a TI, the loop will be broken. It will clear the timer, and again it will return back to the where at this line. Now what you'll find again? E will be copied into where now? A. Now A, again the trans, again it will go to the, there is a timer. Now what will be copied into SBUF? E will be copied. Again the timer will be, again it will keep on send the data bits one by one. The data bits of a character E, it will keep on sending it. Whenever it comes at the stop bit, it will raise the TI flag. Means its transmission is operated. Transmission job is over. Means the loop will be broken. It will go to the clear timer. Again it will go to the yes. It will enter into the timer, and this process will be keep on sending operated to transmit the YES. You can see this YES at the UART terminal. Let us say that if you want to transmit something like hello, okay, what you can do here? Hello, copy H in a accumulator, call the timer, copy E into the timer, copy E into the accumulator, call the timer, copy L into the accumulator, call the timer, copy L into the accumulator, call the timer, O in accumulator, call the timer. This process you repeat, since you will see with the character at the output UART terminal. Okay. Now the importance of TI flag we'll see here. The steps that 8051 goes through in transmitting a character via transmit line. The byte character to be transmitted is written into the SBUF. Okay, because there is a standard steps how we proceed. Same step how we are going here. Now let us assume that I'll take here something like 8-bit here, 0 0 1 1. Okay, 1 1 1 1. Okay, total how many bits will be there here? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, now this is my lower nibble, higher nibble. There is a one extra bit will be like start bit and stop bit. Total how much here? 10 bits. Okay, the start bit is transferred. Which will be transmitted first here? Start bit will be transmitted. Now what will be transmitted? These bits will be transmitted. Whenever the stop bit comes at the end of the all the data bits, it is during the transfer of the stop bit that 8051 and TI will be raised to 1. I hope you understood. Means after this all the 8 bits are transmitted, whenever it finds a stop bit, the TI will be raised to 1. That is in the 4th step. By monitoring the TI flag, we make sure that we are not overloading the SBUF. Means whatever the content of SBUF is, that is over. If we write another byte into the SBUF before TI is raised, the untransmitted portion of the previous byte will be lost. Okay, that is if it is something like if it is raised, if the TI is raised, at here in between that the 6th bit, these 2 bits will be lost. Okay, that is what the indication. In the 6th, that is what the importance what we can see. After SBUF is loaded with a new byte, the TI flag bit must be forced to 0 by clearing TI in order for this new byte to be transferred. Okay, since we need to keep on check the TI flag to know whether or not the 8051 is ready to transfer another byte. It must be noted that TI flag bit is raised by 8051 itself when it finishes the data transfer. Whenever the 8051 has completely transferred all the data bits, TI will be enabled. When the TI is enabled, we need to be forcibly, we have to clear it. We have to make it 0 by using a instruction CLR TI. That is through CLR TI. If you write a byte into the SBUF before the TI flag, it is read, we risk the loss of the portion of the byte being transferred. That's what the indication here. If the TI is raised at the 6th bit itself, we are losing the 2 bits. Means we may we are getting a wrong data bits at the receiver side. And all the way we are checking the TI bit using JNP. Okay, that is what JNP TI XXX. Okay, jump if not bit. Which bit? TI. Jump if no bit. Jump if no bit TI, then it will keep on loop it. It is like a interrupt. Similarly, in programming 8051, to receive a character byte serially, if I want to receive, means the data will be getting received at the SBUF. Again, we need to configure the TMOD. We have to TH1 to be set with a baud rate. Again, we need to be configure the SCON with a 50H. You need not change about this one. In the 4th bit, we need to start the timer. 5th bit, we have to clear the timer. Okay, that is the RI will be cleared. And whatever the data, okay, directly I'll go to the step number 7. When RI is raised, SBUF has a byte. Its contents are moved into the safe place. Safe place in the sense, whatever the data, external data has transmitted, it is loaded into SBUF. We can keep it into one of the register. How the requirement from your program point of view. And to receive the next character, we need to go to the step number 5 to repeat the process. Look at this. This is the program. Write a program for 8051 to receive bytes of serially and put them in P1. Set the baud rate at 4800, 8-bit data and 1 stop bit. Okay, you can't make it with like a 1 stop bit in there. You need to be considered that you are operating in mode 1 operation. As we know, TMOD, this is a standard program. You need not change about any of the steps. There is a standard step. If you know the steps, you can repeat for all the program. Just you look into that, what the operation you are doing. Look at this. We are using, okay, port 1 means my data bit has to be displayed onto the port 1. That is what the operation is. TMOD will be loaded with 20H. TH1 will be -6, means it will be operated at 4800. SCON will be 50H. There is no change. Start the timer. You keep on monitor the RI flag because you are receiving the data bits. And when the RI is raised here, it will go to the next instruction. Where the data is received, it is received in the SBUF. From the SBUF, where you copied into A. From the A, where it is copied copied into P1. Means my data will be visible at the port number P1. You don't have an instruction to copy from move P1, SBUF. All the way you need to be communicate through the accumulator. That is important. And clear RI and jump here. Okay, it will go to the jump here means it will go to the next. Okay, there is a jump. If not bit, okay, it will keep on repeated so that you will find set of characters onto the which port? Port P1. Okay, this is what the program, okay, what we are dealing for the 8051 to receive bytes of data and put them onto the port P1. I am receiving. Let us check that if you hit here character A from the keypad, it will be stored into SBUF. From the SBUF, it will be copied into port P1. If I hit here X, it will be copied into SBUF. From this SBUF, it will be copied into accumulator E. This is what the program of a serial communication. I hope you understood. Okay, you can try out with some more example to understand much on this topic. Thank you.